Hello, I'm FerrousPilot, and today we're going to be playing some more Pillars of Eternity. We're at the top of this tower in, what was it called? Heritage Hill? That's the district of Defiance Bay that we're in, because we were told to go here by the group that we were investigating, Blood and Key, and we're here to try and find out what happens once we got to the top of the tower. We have to also talk to Icantha at some point, but I guess we have to find out how the Enwithan machine in Heritage Hill works, which means we are going to have to talk to Icantha, because if you remember, last time around, we found a page from Icantha, like a letter that she gave to the scientists who were actually researching this machine, and she told them that she's going to not help them out. Anyways, who is this guy, Aldheim? We should probably talk to him. A man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin that you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles back behind the Ardra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
What happened to you? Give me a reason not to cleave you in half.
I'm so close. I can figure it out. Reverse the mechanism. I just need time. Time and...
Oh man, he seems to be in bad shape.
Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from... gods. It hardly matters now.
Stick to the present. When did the disaster start? I don't care about the death. I just need you to give me the facts.
Happened on our 11th night. Lights in the
Oh no!
sky and a
No, stop!
charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight.
Yeah, sorry about that noise over there with the phone call. That's okay. Let's just keep on keeping on and see what
And
happens.
the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
As exciting the prospect of a living machine may be, I suspect that given mention of a machine and a masked figure both, there is another explanation. Yeah, probably the masked figure started the machine.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
What does this machine have to do with souls? You seem like you'd know a thing or two about... Let's do it.
There's no time for jokes! There's no time! This machine, I have to figure it out while I still can.
Okay, yeah.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
That actually seems very relevant. You're not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger.
Yeah, don't look at me like that.
Stall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply. I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster.
I mean, I feel like Icantha really could help in this instance because of her special trait in that she's basically living with the same curse. That obvious growls and his hand balls into a fist. To think my clan has the temerity to accuse me of being a soul-rending beast when an actual such monster walks the face of Beareth.
You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
There was a stranger in the tower at the night this happened. I think it's that asshole, Ethos or whatever his name is.
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck, and there was hardly anyone left.
And then what happened?
Not your help I need. It's Heritage Shrew squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Icantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
So he wants me to go talk to Icantha for him. Wait, ruins? The Enwithan ruins? She can read them. He speaks of this feat so blandly. Let's talk instead to this Harridan, Dingle Bingle. I'd pick her thoughts a time. I want nothing to do with this. I'll get words from Icantha. Icantha knows control words. I don't see why I need your help.
Help. I help you. Yes. You bring me the words and something to keep me strong. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong. Icantha was here. In Heritage Hill. Must be here still. Clever lady, that one.
Has something to make me strong. I like the idea of that. Will he accept your answer? Oh, man. Anyways, let's go. I like how there's birds and stuff flying around. I'm gonna have to go to the bottom of this tower. I mean, I think I'll just sort of skip to it. Wait, let's look at this machine first. A sunburst of copper filaments surrounds the dial. Looks to be about twice the size of a hen's egg. The filaments cross and diverge. Runes are inscribed around the dial. Nothing happens. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go down and I will, I guess, see you in a bit. Okay, so apparently the stairs allow you to climb them all at, like, you can choose which floor you want to go to, which makes sense that, you know, Obsidian knows how to design games to be usable for the player. That's pretty nice. You know, I was like, well, I'll just skip ahead because I know it's going to take a real long time. And then it actually doesn't take quite as long of a time. So that's cool. Let's talk to Icantha.
What if you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Enwithan machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is. He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
Humble Aldum now by demonstrating the value of your research. I think we should ask for the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Dyrwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
Why would the Enwithans have wanted to tether souls like this? I guess she just told us. I don't know, but we can ask her again.
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Enwithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment.
Oh, well, you seem to know a lot about Ter Nuneth.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
I see. How do you operate the machine atop Ter Nuneth?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd harvest them for essence.
And so give their existence purpose. But what kind, I wonder?
Are you gonna say something? No? I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into a shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. Well, I mean, I killed all your specimens. What? But what good is observing all this if you're going to hoard it away for yourself? Tell her, Dingle Bingle, an entire language at your fingertips, and she hides it away. Oh, actually, give me a you know, I was like, this entire time, I was freaking out about why is the sound so off? Why is the sound so weird? And you know what happened? What happened was I put my left headphone in my right ear and my right headphone in my left ear. And I'm just like, oh no, what's going on? This doesn't feel right. And now I think it should be fine. This, like, even the way my voice sounds coming out of my own voice, it sounds better. So anyways, we can extinguish your pride. The vampire doesn't seem to notice as you wrap your mind around the squalling burning mass. However, it sears your very bones. You jump back crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animancer in the history of the field. And who will know about it? All I've learned, years of studying the Enwithan language, no one understands better than me. That counts for something. We can't extinguish your pride yet? When you draw back, no, we still can't. Your opportunities here are finite. One day the knowledge will die with you. You're wrong. It'll burn forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Teach me what you know and I'll make sure it grows and your legacy lives on. Your words finally quench your pride, and all that remains is a blackened diamond-hard rock. You cast it away where it melts into the darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours.
Okay.
These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from darkness ruins flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of ruins, far more than Icantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Enwithan once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge, then, and do what you will with Ter Nuneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Yeah, I had a previous life that was in Enwithan. That's pretty cool. Speaker of dead tongues, now! And so he surpasses 100 frustrated squallers in the matter in a few moments. I don't suppose you could look at a few books for me? What do I do with the tower now that I know these words? She said the other towers around the Durwood were constructed to move souls. Why would Enwithans have wanted to do that? Didn't I already ask that? Yeah, we did. Okay. What do I do with the tower now that I know the words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
Man, it's so much better with the headphones in the right ear. So what she's saying is we could use the time-honored tactic of negligence to destroy this contraption and prevent further ensnarement of souls? Still, it seems a wretched deed to have to sacrifice those trapped within the device. They deserve better fare. Explain how the control words work. Harnessing the power of Ter Nuneth is about understanding what it is designed to do. You know the words and their meanings. You can speak them and the tower shall obey. That's all, thanks. Okay, let's go. Back to the tower. More loading screens, hooray! Everybody likes those, right? But anyways, this is an interesting situation that we have on our hands here. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I like this sort of, I like the writing. It's all about the crazy soul nonsense that's going on, which I guess is like the entire storyline of the game. So, of course, I like it. But it's, I think they're handling it in an interesting way. They're not revealing too much information right off the bat. So, and there are some situations where I'm just sitting there going, what the heck is going on right now? I have no idea. And then they do have some situations where it's just like, you get an info dump, essentially, in terms of dialogue, but that's kind of, you have to expect that out of an RPG, especially an old school RPG like this one. They're going to have a ton of dialogue options. That's just the way it works. Anyways, let's go and talk to this guy. All of them looks much worse, blah, blah, blah.
Flesh.
Okay. Okay. Let's just kill him. Okay, how long is it gonna take for you to die there, buddy? What addendum? Okay, I have to deal with the Enwithan machine. Aldhem has degenerated significantly. He looks ready to pounce on me when I try to talk to him. If I want his help, I'll need to send a victim to him. Okay. Well, I killed him, so I guess that's not gonna happen. Anywho, we'll just look at his journal. Icantha insists on pursuing her own research on the tower despite my argument that pooling our knowledge is in both our interests. With her expertise in Enwithan language, I'm convinced that she knows about the tower's working and blah blah blah. Okay, let's go and use the tower. A jagged Audra pillar rises in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes, which you can now understand. You recognize the words for end and for hold. The dial is currently fixed on hold. You also recognize by an inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial is a means of throttling the device. Maximize the device's throttle in hopes of overloading the device. I don't know why we would do that. I think we're just going to choose end. As the command word leave your lips, the dial sinks into the Audra under your hand. Something like a thunderclap sounds overhead. The glow fades from the machine as it falls dormant. Oh my god. What's gonna happen? Did the souls escape or did I kill them? I didn't understand which option did which thing. Let's go and check it out. Undying Heritage. I learned that the Enwithan machine moves souls. I blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, they've been returned to the cycle. That's cool. I did the good thing, guys. I feel like an awesome person. Anyways, so that's done. And that means that we have only got now to go to the Durford village, and we do have another quest from there, as I recall. I don't know if it was a task or what. Yeah, Nefri is in Durford village, so let's go down to Durford village. I mean, we might as well. Let's leave. Oh, it's saying leave, like, leave this area. Let's proceed down to the bottom. I thought it meant, like, leave the tower, but it meant leave the staircase, which makes a lot of sense, considering that we're currently atop the tower. Anyways, let's head on out.
Indeed.
Please don't tell me to gather my party before venturing forth. That seems like a very uncool thing to do, and I don't think it's going to happen. Let's go. Alright, we're heading out to Durford Village. As soon as we get the opportunity, if the game doesn't force us to go through like 9,000 bajillion loading screens every 2 seconds. Anyways, let's go. I don't think there's an exit here. I think there's only one exit to this district, and it's a pain in the ass to get to. We're just going to go like this, and then we're going to click here, and then I think it'll take us there. I don't think this is an exit. No, it is not. And yeah, this would be the exit right here, the world map, and everything else I don't think is an exit, so we are going in the correct direction. Cool. Let's head on down to Durford Village, and that's the area. Nobody gets any rest. The tower, it's off. Does this mean that the curse on Heritage Hill is lifted? It wasn't. I guess. I just moved dial around on the machine in the tower. I'd better get a manner of Brackenbury for this now. So you turned off the tower by accident? I suppose we should just wait a while and see if it's really safe. If so, good job. Yeah, okay. Let's head on down to Durford Village. 12 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, I don't know why I did that kind of like weird southern type accent for that, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a respectable accent. I don't see any reason not to use it every now and then. You can queue a string of actions by holding down the shift key while issuing commands. That is a useful feature, but at the same time, it's not that useful of a feature because, well, it's just not. Anyways, we have to go and talk to Nefri or something, but first we're going to go into this temple of Magellan here. I mean, Beareth. And Grieving Mother is here, whoever that is. And Winfrit's Armory, Hedina's Apothecary, Dracogen Inn, and Durford Mill. There's a lot of places to explore here. But I think we are just going to start off. We've already talked to these cowled men, and I think these cowled men are in fact... what did Nefri do exactly? She was responsible for the murder of all those babies in Defiance Bay. Remember? A terrible thing, but we need to make her pay, all right? Okay. She's an Orlan woman. Okay, I'll get back to the search. By get back to the search, I mean I'm going to go into this temple of Beareth and explore it, because I am an unrepented side quest explorer. That's just what I do. Sorry about that, but it's going to happen. So, let's do it. Can I steal your shit? I'm just having a look. Don't worry about it. Scroll of prayer against bewilderment. Nah. Okay. Harbinger Bodmar.
Out with you! I already told you what... I'm sorry.
No, I'm another ruffian.
Those ruffians.
Someone has put this priest to the test, but not one nearly difficult enough by my measure. An amateur's work. Fucking Durance. Tell me what happened to you. Can you tell me where to find the ruins? What ruins? Okay. Tell me what happened to you.
I never saw their faces. Strange, hooded men asking about those ruins. Cleoban Relag. Most of the brigands who come through here asking about the ruins are looking for a few ancient trinkets. But these people knew the name.
They were probably the leaden key.
They wanted to know where Cleoban Relag was. I tried to keep it from them, but...
no one can.
I couldn't hold out forever. I don't know what they were up to, but it can't be good.
Can you tell me where to find the ruins?
The Glanfathan tribe that guards the ruins will kill anyone who trespasses there. And they'll retaliate against us, too, if history is any indication. We've had too many fortune seekers stir up trouble of late, If I'm to tell you, I'll need to know.
Honestly, I'm just curious. I never heard about these ruins before. Heravius says, so this is where I say go into the ruins and I'll kill you. And that's when you say, Heravius, I'm a watcher and you're no match for all of us, and we've got a good reason for this, and then I give up trying to argue with you and leave you to dig your own trespasser's grave. And I'm only being half metaphoric. We do sometimes make Derwoodans dig your own graves before we kill you. When the kids hear about it, it's a fabulous deterrent. I'm here on business with the Duke. There's a dangerous plot unfolding. You'll tell me because I'll give you and your assistants a beating if you don't. No, let's just say there's a dangerous plot unfolding. And this guy is supposed to be one of those Glanfathans, but he seems pretty chill, so it's okay.
If that's the case, then we may already have trouble headed our way. I'll have to take you at your word. You'll find Cleoban Relog here. Whatever trouble you find there, please end it quietly.
I'll try. Tell me about Durford.
To stay out of the ruins.
Folk here tend to keep to themselves, as they do in most towns this deep in the Durwood. They're suspicious of travelers, but with all the brigands and refugees moving through the area, who could blame them? Is this the Temple of Beareth? What can you tell me about Beareth? Beareth is the most universal of all the gods. It oversees portals and cycles of all kinds. I guess Beareth does not have a gender, which is pretty, progressive for a god in this day and age. Under Beareth, an ending is merely a passage to another beginning. Beareth has many representations across time and across cultures. Around the Durwood, you will commonly see it depicted as Pallid Night, or the Usher. The Glanfathans, however, know it as Bewanen I Ankur and Ankur I Bewanen. Tell me about the Pallid Night. She is one of the youngest manifestations of Beareth, but a familiar one nonetheless. Stories describe her as a gaunt knight in black armor, with black eyes, black hair, and milk-pale skin. She demands an impossible toll of travelers who have tarried too long on the Lord's road. Some challenge her, only to slay themselves in the process. Who is the Usher? Kids have written song stories and poems about the Usher for centuries. Sometimes he's folk, sometimes he's dwarf, sometimes he's blah, blah, blah. Circumstances stumble into their own graves. Who is Benwan, Anku, Benwan? Means life and death life, respectively. You see them as two skeletal figures, one male and one female. Explorers have found them carved opposite to one another in doorways, but I know of no particular legends that speak of them. How do you tell if a skeleton is male or female? That seems like, you can probably tell from the size of the bones, but it seems hard to tell, It could just be a small male, right? Or a large female, either way.
Indeed.
And that could easily mislead you. So, I don't know. Unless you're some kind of, phrenologist. Is that the usage for the term? Who's the people that study skeletons? Study skulls. I'm just going to go and grab some of this, wheatgrass here. River grass. Sorry, river reed actually, but that's okay. And I guess we go down over to the mill. We've been to a few mills in our day. We've been to the mill in Gilded Vale, and we convinced the guy to stop being a jerk. Yeah, okay, I'll talk to you. House Herond Guard. The guard gives you an appraising eye. You've recently come to the Durford, I take it. I don't suppose you saw a young elven noblewoman on the road. I'm stuck in this wretched place with the rest of my unit until we find her. Who is she? Lady Alice. She is the daughter of Lord Nestor Herond, and she's gone missing. Perhaps you could speak with Lord Herond at the end. He'll be grateful for the assistance, and it could be the villagers will open up to you more than they have to us. Okay. I will speak to you when I have time, but first we're going to go into this mill, because explore every side quest. We're not just going to go and rush directly to the ruins. Do I look like a crazy person to you? Probably, because I'm not doing the most important task first. That is probably the definition of crazy. But anyways, let's go and talk to this villager. Okay. I guess they don't care. They're just chill. I was talking about Hollowborn and stuff. That's okay. I don't know why this building exists, but that's fine. And don't tell me, it only exists to show you that they're surviving by milling grain and stuff. Then where's all the farms, huh? That's what I thought. But anyways, it doesn't need to have an interior. It doesn't need to be marked on the map if it's not important, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I mean. Alright, so let's go. There's a piglet. That's pretty... Piglets are cute, right? Let's go talk to Roombald. Damn Gallowin for monsters like that, and damn the rest of the gods too. A man paces angrily in front of a wrecked animal pen, his sun-weathered face twisted with ire. He is so wrapped up in his fury that he doesn't seem to notice you. Gallowin, slubbering beast, bloody effigy, the thrice-damned salty wench and her soggy. You really should mind your language. Watch where you're going, you raging fool. It's probably not the best way to pray to the gods. A fat lot of good what they've done to me so far. Look at this mess. My pen ruined, and all but for a muesli runt's gone. Calm down and tell me what happened. Wife's always telling me to mind my temper, just breathe deep and count to 10. An ogre moved into the area not long ago. People had been seeing glimpses and tracks out in the wood, but it seemed to be staying away from our town, or so we thought, until it made off with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kith, if it hasn't already. What do you mean to do now? I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but it set my mind at ease to see that thing's head shorn from its neck. In fact, you bring its ugly pate to me and I'll trade you for something that's of less use to a farmer, like me, than to a rowdy-looking sort like you. What do you know about the ogre? The living lands. Hey! That's probably because I picked that as my background. I think I got this thing, like special dialogue response. It's the same as any other, I'm sure. A big, ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Tittergill could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You can find him in his shop right by the broken tower. He whiffs a hen, but it's got to be tiny compared to those sorts of beasts you see up in the living lands. How did you know I was from the living lands? Because, I don't think you can tell just from my unicorn horn. I've been sent to find an Orland named Knifrey. You know where she is? Never heard of her. Okay, then. Thanks for that side quest, and thank you very much for watching. But for now, we're going to end the episode, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.